I'm not giving up on the MPC One.
Freebeat.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day, so if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Today's patron shoutout goes to Aaron Sheeman. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. I've got a little bit different of a video for you today. If you've been watching the channel for any extended period of time, you've probably come across some of my MPC videos where I have expressed not the greatest feelings towards the MPC One. I have had it for just about 2 years now, and when I first got it, I was really excited about it, and then that excitement started to fade away, and it all kind of began to fade when I did this project called Making a Song from Start to Finish, and it was like, I think 13 parts long, and it just, I don't know, I kept finding all these glitches and it was crashing and all sorts of stuff, randomly muting my tracks, and a lot of it was because I didn't know what I was doing, but also it was just the MPC glitching out. Since then there's been a few new firmware updates that, originally added in some more glitches and had some crashing issues, but I believe as of the latest one, things are actually looking fairly stable on the MPC One. Even though I've had a rocky relationship with the MPC One, I've always respected its power, and of course the legacy behind the Akai name and the MPC name, and what the MPCs have meant to electronic music in the past, and I've always wanted to love this. I've always wanted to use it to make tracks. You know, there's so much power here. For less than $1,000 US. I believe right now it's back down to $699 US, which is a crazy good deal. But there's just so much here. I've always wanted to use it. And the closest I've ever come to just using the MPC One was actually when I was working out of my friend Oliver's shed. And the reason I was able to actually kind of use and get along with the MPC One is because I had it permanently set up just to the right of my filming desk. However, that setup only lasted for a couple months, and then I actually moved the entire filming operation back home into the tiny little one-bedroom apartment that Lady Freebeat and I rented. However, a year ago, we moved into a two-bedroom apartment, and I was able to set Freebeat up in its own separate studio space. We're going to talk about this disaster in just a minute. However, despite having all of this space, I've never, again, given myself a permanent MPC location in the room, you know, to use it frequently. The only thing that I have this permanently set up, really, is the computer setup here with, I don't know whether there's a bread tie there, but with my stress ball, the Model D, my Keylab Essential 61, and the computer. And the other day I began to realize that really the only instrument I play frequently when I'm not filming on camera is this. I will just usually open up the a grand piano VST and just play on the piano. Or I'll pull up Ableton and play with, like, I don't know, Vital or, another soft synth like that, Analog Lab 5, something like that, and I'll just play. And I realized it's because I always have this keyboard right here available to go with just a couple clicks. So, I think, in order to give the MPC another fair shot here on the channel, it is long overdue that I once again give myself a permanent MPC One location here in the studio. That's where all of this mess over here comes in. You see, just a little over a week ago was my latest live show, which was Freebeat Live 20K New Year's Celebration. And for that show, I had a little bit different of a setup than I normally do. It was all based around this, my Roland SPDS-X, and standing up and playing drums that way. I still had a little bit of my electronic drum kit set up there, as you can see the folded rack there, but I also had the MPC One with me sitting on this stand that I purchased. And using the MPC One on the stand was really fun. I had a great time finger drumming and just kind of navigating the MPC interface and, you know, exploring the workflow when we weren't working directly on the show. There we go, I just pulled it out. I haven't really set it up. But it's pretty decent size. And I actually purchased this stand for the Freebeat live show. And when the show wrapped, I was going to put it in the closet and not pull it out until I needed it again. And I was going to set the electronic drum set back up, which it usually goes right here. This is just everything from the show, and then a whole bunch of stuff that I need to send back to Zounds.com. Shout out to them for hooking me up with a whole bunch of gear for the holiday season. But yeah, I was planning on just putting this away, but now I think I want to set the MPC One up instead of my electronic drum kit. So really quick, before we wrap up this video, I'm going to put the camera down and kind of give you all a little idea of what I have in mind. A little mock setup, if you will, of what I want my MPC One workstation to look like. So give me just a second and I'll set it up for you. All right, so here's the empty filming desk, and here is the setup for the MPC One. Now, I haven't cleaned up the studio or anything like that. Again, this is just kind of a mock-up for you all to see what I have in mind for actually sitting down, or standing up in this case, and working with the MPC One in a more permanent setting. So, obviously I've got the MPC One here, fits nicely on this stand. Also, my Arturia keystep fits nicely on this stand, so I think this might be how I do a keyed MIDI controller. Now, I also have the Roland SPD-SX over here, and I probably won't be using it as a sampler slash sample player in this context, rather as just a MIDI controller for the MPC One. As you can see, I've got a pair of sticks there, as well as a kick drum pedal that I can use to trigger sounds and things on the MPC One, so I can do live input, live recording drums. You can do a whole lot of cool mapping stuff with the MPC One drum synth. I've done a video or two about that with the SPD-SX. Super fun. And to have them both set up in a permanent setting, I think will really, really help me out. In terms of audio, what I plan on doing is having a pair of outputs going permanently into some of the channels here, a pair of channels on the LiveTrack L12. This handles all of the audio for the channel for the most part. And then I also plan on having some outputs from the LiveTrack going into the MPC One, so I can sample things, all the rest of my gear around the studio. So that is something I'm very much looking forward to, including that microphone there. Yeah, I think this is gonna work. The only thing I could see changing would be to maybe ditch this key step and get a larger keyboard with a proper keyboard stand, either over here or on the other side here, just like that. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. Pretty excited to clean up the studio. Gonna use this video definitely as motivation to do that. Just need to pack stuff up, send it off to Zounds, and then sort through all the various cables and wires and everything that are just laying around after the Freebeat live show. And recycle some boxes, like I still have my sample Trek box right there. And a power supply box too, fun. So don't worry, I'm not giving up on the MPC One. In fact, I'm going to be trying harder than ever to find a workflow that clicks with me and allows me to use the MPC One to make the music that I know I can make on it. I also should mention I already have another tripod position there. I'll probably have to play with some angles, but yeah, I will be able to still film at this location, which is also very important to me, obviously being a content creator. So I do hope you found this video informative or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.